On OneSource, we have almost 1,500 documents developed to support all ESB network staff to work safely and efficiently. It is important all ESB network staff have faith in the documents they are using and that they can be confident the documents are correct, up to date and fit for purpose. We ensure this by reviewing our documents at regular intervals. Policies, company standards, procedures and guides are reviewed every 3 years, while interim standards, interim procedures and restrictions are reviewed 1 year after the issue and either archived or upgraded to full standards or procedures. Alerts are reviewed 6 months after the issue. It is important we comply with these review periods so that our documents continue to be valued by all ESB network staff. This will ensure people continue to use the documents that are developed to keep them safe. Content owners may, of course, carry out out-of-cycle reviews if they feel this is necessary. For example, where they receive some pertinent feedback on a document, or perhaps some new equipment or work method has been introduced, or where mandatory reference or document basis is changed on a document. As content owners, you are responsible for reviewing your own documents. I will run through how you do this on OneSource. To identify which, if any, of your documents are due for review over the next few months, access the Controlled Documents library on the OneSource collaboration portal. Click on Content Owner Documents to view your own documents only. Then scroll across and filter by date to view documents due for review in the near future. To start the review process, we initiate the change workflow by clicking on the ellipsis or 3 dots beside the document set name, then clicking on the ellipsis or 3 dots again, and then clicking on Change Existing Document Set. You then wait a few minutes while the change workflow takes effect. So why do we initiate the change workflow to review a document? We do so as every review results in a change to your document. When you assess your document as fit for purpose, that is still correct and up to date, you are changing the scheduled review date on the document. Where you assess the document is out of date or no longer valid, you are changing its status to archived. And when you assess the document needs to be revised, changes will be made to the content of the document. So regardless of the outcome of your review, a change is effected to the document. When you initiate the change workflow, you will get an email from SharePoint 2013 at noreply.esb.ie. Open the task on the email. I'm being asked to review my document and I'm being given guidance on what to consider. I will go through each of these items separately. Review the feedback log for the document. You can see the feedback log for a document by clicking on the View Feedback link on its front page. Review any derogations logged against the document. You can see if any derogations have been logged by viewing the derogation section at the back of the document. As content owner, you will be consulted before any derogations are approved, so you will be aware of them. As you can see, in this case, there are no derogations to the document. Review changes to documents which constitute a document basis or mandatory reference to this document. The system support team will advise you of any changes of document basis or mandatory references. Review the supporting risk assessment for this document. And consider any new technology or process enhancement which should be incorporated into the provisions of the document. And finally, assess whether the document is OneSource compliant. That is, updated on a OneSource template and complying with the standards and rules for rules, including the appropriate use of shall, should and may. Having completed this review, you'll be able to ascertain whether the document is either fit for purpose, that is, it needs no changes. It is important to note that if a document needs any change at all, no matter how small, it is not appropriate to select the fit for purpose option. Or it needs to be archived. That is, it is either out of date or has been replaced or is no longer valid, or a revision is required to the document. So to update this outcome on OneSource, where the document is fit for purpose, select that option and also set a new review date in line with the review periods set in Rules for Rules. For policies, procedures, company standards and guides, this is 3 years. Where you select the document for archiving, click on Archive and then OK. Please also email onesource@esb.ie to advise why the document has been archived. Or if the document needs to be revised, select Revision Required. We would appreciate it if any time you select Revision Required, you email your Risk and Compliance Manager to advise why a revision is required. For example, perhaps the document needs to be brought to the OneSource standard, or the document is out of date, but it's not a safety critical issue, or the document is out of date and it is a safety critical issue, therefore an urgent revision of the document is required. Please also advise your Risk and Compliance Manager whether you will be available to carry out the revision. If you are, please advise what date you are targeting the revision to be completed by. All this information will help your Risk and Compliance Manager to prioritise how and when revisions to documents are completed. So you have indicated the outcome of your review, but if you have selected Revision Required, you have one more workflow task to complete. You will receive a workflow task asking you to update the name of the document developer for the revision of the document. If you are taking on the revision yourself, enter your own name. If someone else will be revising the document, enter the name of the person appointed to complete the revision. The document then progresses to the Create workflow. The path it takes depends on whether the changes being made to the document are major, that is, additional or changes in rules, or if it's minor. Document developers should seek advice or guidance from the Risk and Compliance Manager at this point. I have outlined the document review process. We would appreciate your support in ensuring all reviews of your documents are completed on time. This ensures that our staff can be confident that the documents are being reviewed regularly to confirm that they're fit for purpose, or that steps are being put in place to revise documents where this is necessary. This gives documents value and integrity and supports us in keeping all ESB network staff safe. A training guide on document reviews is available in the Training Materials Library on the Collaboration portal. And if you need any support at any time, please contact the OneSource System Support Team at onesource@esb.ie. Thank you for your continuing support for OneSource.